Hello students, welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. I am your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So dear students, I believe that you're doing, I believe and trust that you're doing okay, wherever you're watching from. So in this session that I'm about to take you through, we are going to look at some of the character portrayals and the roles of characters that we have in The Truly Married Woman by Biose Nicole. Once again, remember Biose Nicole is a writer and author from Sierra Leone. So in his story, that is The Truly Married Woman, that is anthologized in A Silent Song and Other Stories. These are some of the characters that we come across. So we have got Ajay, who is the protagonist of the story. So Ajay is a government worker. So he has been working with the with the government. So there is also Ayo. So we are told that Ayo is Ajay's wife and a traditional woman who takes care of the household. Then we also have Jonathan Olsen. So Jonathan Olsen is a member of the World Gospel Crusading Alliance from Minnesota in the USA. So remember, he's one of the missionaries who visits that is Ajay. So we also have the chief clerk, who is an older African man who works with Ajay at the government office. Then there is Oju. So Oju is the eldest son of Ajay and Ayo. We also have Ayo's father, who is a proud and difficult woman. He has always wanted the best for his daughter. So we have Ayo's sisters, that is several women who are present at Ayo's wedding. We have a character by the name Omo, who is Ayo's neighbor. So we are told Ajila's neighbor. So we have Ayo's mother, a woman who cries sorry at Ayo's wedding and gives advice to Ayo on being a wife. Then we can also talk about Ayo's old aunt. That is a woman who gives Ajay and Ayo a glass of water to drink at their wedding and gives them advice on their marriage. So let's look at the protagonist first. That is Ajay. So remember, we are told that Ajay is a government clerk who has lived with Ayo for over 12 years. So he meant to marry her in church, but he procrastinated until Ayo gave up on the dream of getting appropriately married. So some of the character traits that we see in Ajay is that he is respectful. So it's shown to be respectful towards others, as he is polite and follows the rules of his workplace. For example, he makes sure to introduce the missionaries to the chief clerk and later follows the chief clerk's advice not to become a missionary due to the rules against it. So Ajay refers to the chief clerk as sir and refers to the white men from the WGCA as gentlemen. So we are also told that Ajay is hardworking. So Ajay is shown to be a hardworking individual as he is able to maintain a job and is responsible for providing for the family. He is also thoughtful or reflective. So Ajay is shown to be thoughtful. He is shown to be thoughtful in his actions and decisions as he considers the consequences of his actions and thinks about the future. For example, he considers the implications of being a missionary and later decides to marry Ayo after thinking about the consequences. So Ajay's visit from the missionaries and Ayo's protest about the beating make him think about his future, and he decides to marry. He decides to marry Ayo. So we are also told that he is good-natured. So Ajay is shown to be good-natured, that is, as he is friendly and welcoming towards the missionaries who pay him a visit and invites them to his home for a drink. So we are also told that he is responsible. That is the fact that he takes care of his family and follows through on his decisions. So he follows through on his decision to marry Ayo and later takes on the role of husband and provider for his family. So he's also ambitious. That is, he writes to the World Gospel Crusading Alliance, that is the WGCA, in hopes of receiving the Bibles or large religious pictures that he would sell that he could sell or give away. So we also told that he's resourceful. So he quickly moves and comes up with a plan to invite that is the World Gospel Crusading Alliance men to his house for drinks, and asks for another clerk to go home and warn his wife Ayo to prepare for the visitors. So we also told that he is considerate. That is, Ajay agrees to Ayo's request to have a church wedding, even though he would have preferred a traditional one. So we can also talk about that is Ajay being persistent. He is persistent. So he borrows money to pay for the to cater for the wedding. That is paying for the music, food, and dresses, despite the tightness of the corset and his tight budget. So he is also obedient. So we are told that when Ayo pushes him back gently and says no on the night before their wedding, Ajay obeys her request to wait until after they are married. So we also have Ayo. So Ayo, we are told, is a woman in her mid-30s who has lived with her husband Ajay for 12 years. Yet she's not married to him. So she's thus considered a mistress to Ajay, and that is why Ajay, when talking to his friends, he refers to Ayo as his mistress. So we are told that Ayo loves Ajay and even moves in with him against her parents' wishes. So she has hope of getting married, but the husband's attack of the spending involved during marriage discourages her. So these are some of the traits that we see in Ayo. Number one, we are told that she's prideful. That is, she has a proud head and long neck. That is how, according to the imagery used to describe her appearance, or the physical look. So we are also told that remember, when looking at traits, we are allowed to look at both the inward and outward characters in a person. So we can also say that she's respectful. She is respectful. So we are told that Ayo expects more respect from her husband after they are married. After they are married. So she is also responsible. The fact that she gets up early every morning, that is for she has gotten up uh, early every morning for 12 hours to make tea and breakfast for Ajay, can make us say or that is qualifies for Ayo to be called a a responsible woman. Then we can also say that she's thoughtful and reflective. Remember, she is worried about Ajay when he expresses a desire to marry her out of the blue. So another thing that we can also add, dear students, another thing that we can also add is that Ayo is caring. Ayo is caring. So when saying that Ayo is caring, we can talk about the fact that she's concerned, about her husband's well-being and takes care of him. So this can also be seen in the duties that she performs, in the house. So another thing that we can also talk about, dear students, about that is Ayo, is that she's confident. So she stands up for herself and her beliefs, such as protesting against the beating of her children. So she's also resourceful. So she finds ways to solve problems, such as borrowing a wedding ring from a neighbor or visiting the soothsayer before Ajay's sister can. So Ayo is able to make a wedding cake, clean and decorate her home, and find solutions to problems. That is such as, remember, borrowing the wedding ring again, just like we have mentioned, and that is even hiding the wine glasses when they are visited by the missionaries from the YGCA. So we can also say that she's traditional. She values and follows traditional customs, such as participating in the traditional pre-wedding rituals with Ajay's family. So she's also strong-willed. She's not afraid to speak her mind and assert her autonomy, even in the face of resistance or criticism. That is, for example, Omo, e.g. from Omo, who is Hajila's neighbor. So she's also patient. We are told that Ayo tolerates Ajay's tendency to be bossy and demanding, and she's willing to wait until they are married before being intimate with him. But remember, they had been living or staying together for 12 years, so uh, they have been they've had intimacy before. So she's also kind. Ayo is considerate of others, as seen when she asks Ajay if he is willing, that is, if at all he is feeling ill, and uh, when she takes care of her children and neighbors. So that shows some kindness that is also evident in Ayo. So she's also independent. Ayo is able to stand up for herself and to make her own decisions, as seen when she protests against Ajay's beating of that is of their son, Oju, and when she decides not to wear a white wedding dress. So she's also practical. The fact that she decides not to go on a honeymoon with Ajay due to financial constraints. Not most women can agree to that. So we also have Ajo's father. So remember Ayo's father, sorry. So he is seen as a father who wanted the best for his daughter, Ayo, since he had hoped that she would be married by a high school teacher. So some of his character traits is that he is proud or pompous. So he's proud of his family and wants to ensure that Ayo is married to a good and suitable husband. So this demonstrated when Ajay's family comes to ask for Ayo's hand in marriage, and Ayo's father goes through a lengthy and detailed questioning process to ensure that Ajay's family is good enough. So she's also protective. I mean, he is also protective. So he wants to protect his daughter and make sure that she is well taken care of. This is also shown when he gives Ayo away at the wedding ceremony and provides her with advice on how to be a good wife. So he is also traditional, that is, he follows traditional customs and practices as demonstrated by the wedding ceremony and the exchange of gifts with Ajay's family. So he is also respectful. Sorry for the mistaken pronoun. He is also respectful. So Ayo's father is respectful towards Ajay's family, even though he initially hesitated to let them into his house. So this is shown when he accepts their gifts and talks with them about the marriage. Let's look at the chief clerk, who works with Ajay in the government. So the chief clerk is concerned and caring. So he advised Ajay against being a missionary, which would lead him to losing his job. So this shows that the chief clerk cares about Ajay's well-being and is looking out for his best interests. So there is also Omo, who is the jealous neighbor. So she's jealous. So we are told that when Ayo showed her the wedding ring, the wedding presents that Ajay was going to give her, and Omo's face was both jealous and angry as she touched the silky see-through material. So Omo said, "These are awful. They hide nothing. You should be ashamed to wear them," and pushed the material angrily back over the wall to Ayo. This shows that Omo was jealous of Ayo's relationship with Ajay and the presents he was giving her. So this is when Ayo, showed some of the wedding presents that Ajay was going to offer in the wedding. So we also have Ayo's aunt, who is wise and caring. So based on the way she advised Ayo and Ajay on their marriage, she encouraged them to be respectful towards each other and to avoid conflict, and also reminded Ajay to be faithful to Ayo. She's also concerned, that is the fact that she showed concern for Ayo's well-being by warning her about the dangers of being too friendly with other women who may try to steal her husband. So that marks the end of character portrayal and roles of the various characters that we have in The Truly Married Woman by Abiose Nicole. So thank you for watching till the end, dear students. Until next time, I'm your teacher, Mr. Stanley Ombogo. Bye.